So, alright, so I'm about 5 minutes early, but good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon for those of you that are viewing this on the replay. Really, hold on for just a minute, since I am a little early. I'm trying to multitask, guys. I was vlogging a downstairs in the kitchen, vlogging a cake. So, and I have a feeling that I have to go back down. I'm going to be interrupted, but I'm not going to be on here that long anyway. But yeah, he's going to call me back to the cake is finished. So stay tuned for the cake vlog, his recipe, you know, doing the thing, hubby can cook. So I think we shared the cake before and just didn't share the recipe or the any footage. He just made the cake. So this time we decided to vlog the process of that. And yeah. There's somebody in the hall singing. These kids, boy. So now he's down there making dinner. It's been a long day. We have, if you guys were here earlier, we were on our way to the store. And we did the shopping, Costco. And no, I didn't vlog anything. Yeah. I didn't vlog anything today. I vlogged last night. Some things. I was on Instagram Live last night. So some of you all will get to see what happened last night before the vlog does. So, yeah, sometimes, most of the time, I put stuff out on Instagram first because it's just quicker. But, anywho, 2 minutes. Whew. So, yeah, I'm tired. Long night, long day. I'm just tired. Man, I knew I forgot something. We went all the way to Costco. Like it's far. I forgot to get another bottle. Oh well. Such is life. I'll be open in the morning. Let this clear. So, 1 minute. I need to. That's what I need to do. So I can see. Whew. Goodness. So I can actually see. Oh, boy. Alright. I need to break these boxes down. Y'all, if you guys were watching earlier, oh my gosh, this TV thing. You saw him bring that TV in here. everything, and I don't know, I guess that's just how I do it. Everything that comes in a box ends up in this room. I just spent, I don't know how long, breaking down boxes, and lo and behold, there's some more back there. It's another TV box back there. The other one is not open yet, but somebody else got a TV recently, and I didn't break that one down on purpose because he said keep the box, but I'm like, really? So yeah, I gotta get rid of those boxes back there. The recycle can was full, so yeah. All right, it is 8 o'clock. So let me go ahead and get started. I'll probably have about 30 minutes, which is what I intended anyway. Just depending on how the dialogue goes. And this is getting on my nerves. Yeah. Okay. Whew. So Africa. What about Africa? Guys, I see a lot of there's lots of curriculum out there, whether it's boxed or piecemealed, or it is teacher created, mom created. There's a lot out there. And, I see a lot of sharing on, what everybody's doing, myself included. And it's nice, it's good information. And, it can be helpful. We watch and we learn, and we take what we need, ideas that we need and may be useful and things like that. Some of it, may not be useful, may not, work for us the way somebody else is doing it, or, even the way the box is, the curriculum is designed, or the book is designed. So that's where you just make it your own, and that's what I do a lot of the times, make it my own. But I don't really stick to, particularly when it comes to history, I don't stick to any particular book, because we all know that you can't just look in, one or two books and, have some answers. Now you can if you just want to teach basic, basic history, but we go a lot deeper in everything we do. And I just don't see a lot of that. A couple of people I do honestly know that they really go deep, and they do a lot. It's different. Their history is based on different things, and I think that's really cool. And they share those things. And, some people feel that it's over the top, but a lot of what I see in books is basic. Hey, silly mommy. It's really basic stuff. And I'm like, we would get bored. My kids would get bored just, doing basic, Q&A, trivia based. That's, that gets old after a while. You don't really learn anything. You begin to memorize things, and you're not really learning anything. I think when you get into a book, any book, living books, you want to be able to put yourself in that book. You want to become a character in that book. You want it to you want to be able to relate, to a character, some, something that they did. I don't know off the top of my head whether it's, a child learning to ride a bicycle. I know that has nothing to do with history, but, if they had to do this, and then the child reads this and they say, oh, that's how I learned how to ride a bike. Then the book becomes more real. And so that's what I look for when I pick out anything. I want them to be able to relate to the characters, and they actually end up remembering, more so than going through some long, drawn out curriculum. it just, I don't know, it just works better that way. But what I see, you know, people are teaching history of, you know, the United States. What is it? The Civil War, the Revolutionary Wars, all, you know, U.S. history. There's European history. You know, there's you know, lots of areas being touched on. You know, I see unit studies on the Romans and the Greeks and the Mayans and the Native Americans, and I don't know. Y'all know what this stuff is. But really what I want to know is, what about Africa? What about Africa? Even when, like, for example, some of y'all, this is very popular here, okay? Make sure this is in the frame. Very popular. Okay? Very, very popular. It's all 4 of them sitting here. It's 4 volumes of Story of the World. And there's also the Mystery of History. You open this book up. This book is about how many pages? Without all the whatever. It's about 300 pages roughly. Yeah, because there's a chronological appendix of ancient times. Okay, but everything I see, they throw in Egypt. They throw in some biblical, you know, verbiage. And they call that history. And it's really only a couple of pages. There is more to Africa than Egypt. And it bothers me that this day and age, we are in 2019, that these kids, homeschool kids, where we can design and make what we want of the curriculum, are still just being taught Egypt. And half of them don't even remember, and they're not being taught correctly. That bothers me a whole lot. Half of these kids do not even know. I mean, if I were to ask them, or you were to ask them, Mansa Muli, or, yeah, Mansa Musa, you know, it's an inside joke, y'all. But anyway, yeah, Mansa Musa is somebody that is not often talked about in anywhere. You know, it's one of those things where you have to kind of pull those things up. Very prominent. He was the richest man in the world. But because he was African American, or he was African, we don't hear about that stuff. Now, in our books, okay, I'm speaking on a, you know, because there is a divide, and I'm not divided, okay? I'm not divided on this, so I don't want you guys to get like I'm pulling the race card or anything. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm on both sides of the fence with this, okay? I'm bothered by us, and I'm bothered by everybody else. So y'all just, we're going to clear the air right there. Because some of us don't know. You know, you may know about, I don't know, Nefertiti. You know, maybe that's it. There's a lot more out there, okay? You have to go deeper than what's here. These little books just do not do it, okay? And the information that is out there, we know a lot of this stuff is hidden. You have to search. You guys know what I'm doing. You know what I'm putting together. And I'm not doing this just for me. I'm teaching my kids as well. And mainly I would say it is for me, or for us. But I thought that, I don't know why this thing is buffering. I thought that I would share, being that I put this thing together. This curriculum together. And I don't know. I just have a hard time saying curriculum because, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But there's not even a price. You know, I have to toss that around in my head and working with some people, tossing, numbers and things like that. There's not even a worth. The money that I am investing on researching and books, you guys, there are books. I just popped up something on Instagram, and I kid you not, that sucker was $500. But see, I'm that type. We will go that far and purchase that book because we want to know. When books are that expensive, they have valuable information in them. Average person is not going to do that. Oh, that costs too much. Our history is important to us. We don't want to sell our kids out into something, basic, for lack of a better term. I don't know. It's basic. I'm not. There's a lot more. There's a lot more to this right here. There's some controversy to this because she has portrayed other people in a less than manner. I'm going to just, leave that at that. And it's sad because here we are teaching these kids of today. There's a lot of racial prejudice in that curriculum. A lot. And it's sad. It is very sad that these kids are being taught this way. And these kids they're not being properly educated. For us to be at home saying we're just, because school is leaving this out or they're not doing that. The majority of us are leaving the stuff out too. I'll come on. I'm looking for, ideas for Africa. I see nothing. Nobody's teaching anything about Africa. How are these kids even learning Africa? What do you even teach them? That's what I want to know. Can somebody even say, I'm not saying they need to be able to name all the nations in Africa, but they should know how many nations there are. They should be able to name some of them. They should be able to name some people. They should be able to identify with some cultural similarities to themselves, whether it is language or clothing or food, things like that. Are the kids being taught textiles, things like that. Why do they dress differently? Why don't we dress like that? I know not everybody, can sew, but I just see a lack of representation. And it's sad because this is us. And then we complain about it. Well, they don't represent us equally or properly in the books, but nobody's doing anything about it. And it's just, you follow right along. If you have something like that, I don't care how big the idea is, share it. That's all I want to know. Share how you're teaching this. If they're just painting a picture, share it. This is a picture of the savannas. This is where this picture came from. I do have a lot of things that I have not shared, and a lot of the stuff. A lot of the reason why is because this is curriculum based. I'm not sharing that stuff on purpose. So it will be in the curriculum. I have gotten some questions about history and whatnot. I'm not divulging anything. This is not anything that I have seen at all. And that's the reason why I'm doing it, because it's not anything I haven't seen anything like it. It's not what I think the people that have asked. It's not what they expect at all. It's something completely different. It is more than, I don't know, who do we hear about? I'm going way back. One thing I'm not doing is there's not any bias. Okay, there's not any bias. There's no religious bias. None of that in this thing. That is for you all to do. What you all believe and how you want to educate your child from a biblical standpoint in history, that's a personal choice. I don't have, I don't have the capability or the capacity to do that, because some people believe differently. For instance, some people believe the Bible is the beginning, the Bible is the middle, the Bible is the end. In our home, we know the Bible is not the beginning. The Bible is not the only source. Okay? Some of what I have researched and learned, I can incorporate. I'm not going to, again, I'm not divulging what's in it. But yeah, some of that I can incorporate. And it's just, one of those things you're just going to have to get. Excuse me. I am going to make this thing. I'm not going to say I'm going to make it, because it's already, a lot of it is already complete. But I'm reaching the little kids. There are certain things that little ones do not need to know. Okay. But then again, there are things that they need to know, and it's not being addressed. Okay. So it's going to be pretty much, I'm meeting the children where they can't, where they are. And knowing my kids, we give them certain things at certain times, based on their intelligence, their understanding. We are sensitive to, certain things. I think I talked about this a little while ago. This probably was last year when we were looking at the good and beautiful. And we were talking about the history in the upper grades. Because, see, they don't do this in the lower grades. They'll sneak that stuff in there in the upper grades. And the images of when it came to African American history, Africa, all there was images of slavery. We have to correct that. And that's coming from the other culture, the other race doing that. They're still portraying us that way. That makes me so bothered on that. It just, I can't, this day and age, that's still what we're teaching these kids. Why? And I don't care who put their hands on that curriculum and fine-toothed it. There's still racial prejudice right there. If that's all you see, that's all you can portray of us. We have plenty of books on Africa, not including Egypt. That's why we use multiple resources with spies. I would never trust a spy. Hello. Everyone has different goals for teaching history too. By the way, hello. Yes. Yeah, and I agree. Everybody does have different goals. To each his own. To each his own. Like I said, this is just me and what I see. I just, figured I'm not the only mom writing curriculum. Everybody's using stuff. You guys have gone over and looked at confessions. You know who I'm talking about. And who I just mentioned. She wrote this stuff for her kids and went ahead and put it out there. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just, like I said, because it's history, it's, it's a little bit different. And everybody else, even this, what I just picked up, that's written by a mom, I just don't understand the lack. Nobody's taking the time to, I don't hear anybody just, let's see. Without putting too much out there. Okay. Mali, can the kids tell you about Mali? Do they know? Now I mentioned Mansa. Do they know why Mansa was so rich? The trading and whatnot, and who he took where, that type of thing. A lot of people don't even know that. My husband was talking to somebody earlier, and he was talking about him. And that person didn't even know who he was. It's a grown man. And he was like, who? And I'm like, wow. There really is a disconnect. But you ask somebody about Moses or somebody, oh yeah, let me tell you this and I can tell you that, and yeah, mm, and Moses' wife and all, Pharaoh, all of that. I can't, like I said, I'm not putting the religious aspect in it, but those things are more easily believed, and they shouldn't be, because that's not even true. What was written was not even true. What they say, was it Bathsheba was Moses' wife? Bathsheba was not Moses' first wife. Moses' first wife didn't even make it out of Egypt. But it wasn't Bathsheba. They want our kids to think history began with slavery. Oh no, that's the thing. And see, like I said, I can, we go back. Wait, the Bible was stolen. The Bible was stolen. Period. So yeah, this, Earth creation myth, yeah, came from somewhere. But that is, again, that's a personal, that's a family choice, how far you want to go researching. You guys, I'm telling you, there are some awesome materials, books, and things out there. But yeah, that stuff is expensive. It is very expensive. I can show you guys a little, I bought a little books, here and there. That's just whatever. But we invest a lot in, little known history, because there is a lot out there to learn every day. And I just cannot see why still in this day and age, like you say, KTJ, they want us to think our history began with slavery. That is so ignorant. It's just ignorant. And just even starting with just the geography. Teach Africa as what it is. Africa is not even, we know it's misconstrued on the map, but Africa is highly misconstrued. And the way they have the things set up, it looks like other countries are, just as big. No. No. They are not. So many countries can fit in Africa. It's ridiculous. The name. I'm correcting the name. That's one thing I'm gonna correct. People are still calling Africa Africa. Africa is not Africa. So that is going to be corrected. That I wrote that into the curriculum. Yeah. He said what? I put the plates over there. I'm on the live chat. Okay. He need the camera. Or what's almost done, the food or the cake? Oh, the plates are out there on the steps. Yeah, you can vlog the cake yourself. The rest of it when it comes out. So, yeah. But yeah, I am. That is something I'm gonna correct. We a lot of us these days are claiming to be coming into the truth. Okay, if you're coming into the truth, you're still using Greek terms. Why? Correct it. Learn it and correct it. Don't keep going because of what you've been told. Because, see, your mother was lied to. Your mother taught it to you. Your grandmother taught it to your mother. She was lied to. Don't keep that cycle going. Don't lie to these kids. And see, in order for them to accept us, we have to be able to correct ourselves and be able to step up and say, hey, this is not true. We're not going to accept what you're saying. We know it's not true. Not just leave them out. Help them out. Help them out. Help them correct our history. They know the truth. They know the truth. They just want to hide it. But as long as we continue to make them think that we don't know that they know, that's not getting anybody anywhere. I talked about bartering. Very important. Very, very important. It's not true. Let me make this point. What's not true? Y'all, what did I just say? She threw me off. Girl, I think I was saying something to the effect of either when I was talking about the name Africa and prescribing to the terms that the Greeks have put in place. We can't continue to use those terms, learn the correct terms. And also, the thing is, they know, hold on.
I want to be part of it too.
Yeah, you want to be part of it. They know our truth, and we know our truth. And what's bothering me is we know, some of us know the truth, and if we continue to make them believe that we don't know the truth, that's not helping us. Okay? That's not going to help us. It's not going to help anybody get anywhere. What it looks like is they are continuing to manipulate our history, and our history is not true. It's their history. We need to be able to step up and stand up for ourselves and say, hey, this is our history. We know the truth.
Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
I mean, we live in a society where our history has been taken away from us. We have a great history, but nobody wants to do the research. I didn't hear about Mansa Musa, whatever.
Yeah.
Until I was an adult. Now, the reason why they want to dispel that, they don't want to tell you about it, because he sent 200 trade ships to the Americans. They don't. That dispels the whole thing about Columbus, which on the term he had a black man navigating the ship. So we need to step up and start being proud of our past. We just wasn't slaves. We built pyramids. We had great civilizations, but we choose not to learn about it. I'm not even talking about religion. I'm just talking about just learning about who we are as a people. We are great. We have a great history, but we choose to ignore that. And our school teaches our kids white supremacy. My son came home talking about, well, I don't want to eat like black people because black people don't eat right or whatever like that. What kind of stuff is that? We eat right. We try our best to eat right. Now, we don't eat right 100% of the time, but we try to buy organic when we can afford it. We try to buy the things that we can't afford it. We don't eat at McDonald's. We don't eat at Burger King. We don't eat at Wendy's. If I do eat a burger, it's at a fast food place. It's going to be no preservatives in it or anything like that. I try to buy, they got a place out here in Texas called P. Terry's. No hormones, grass-fed. So, yeah, we do eat out some places, but we try to be conscious of where we eat out. We try to be conscious of what we put in our body. Because with the invert of GMOs, the diabetes jumped up 133%. So, in a sense, we live in a mental society where they profit off of people's death. Cancer is patented. The AIDS virus is patented. I mean, check it out. You ain't got to take my word for it. But we just have to take more responsibility and go look up our history. We have a great history.
Educate these kids.
And on top of that, we was in the Americas before they had slaves. What about the Olmec heads? You ever know the Olmec heads? So they were found out through South America and even in the Americans. And Ethiopia too. The same head. So that tells you that we populated the earth. So on top of that, but white supremacy came in. The best way to destroy a people is destroy their past. So that's a tactic. We need to come out of that.
And that's what I was talking about in the books. What did you tell him about the food, though?
I told him.
What did you tell him about the food? Why we eat like this?
We ate like this because of the simple fact is when we were put in slavery, they gave us the worst of the worst. So they throw us the chitlins or and then we learned how to invent things and eat, the best way we could or whatever. but with what we were given. So that's the ingenuity of us. Without look at all the inventions that were stolen from us or taken from us or what we've given to this country. If the computer, internet, all this stuff, just look it up. All the things that we have or the greatness that we have. And if you take away our inventions,
pig's feet. Yes.
If you take away our inventions and things of that nature, you'd be surprised how this country would fall without the contributions of us.
Mm-hmm. They gave them whatever they didn't want to eat.
I'm cooking right now, so I'm going.
Justice can vlog the cake when you get it. If you want to vlog that part, how you take it out the pan, she can come get the camera for that. But yeah, what he said that that bothered me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? The way we eat? He said, I want to eat like these people. I'm like, really? Have you been brainwashed like that? They've been telling you that we eat poorly. Ooh, sir. And he could have picked that up anywhere, honestly. But that just tells me that that's what's out there. That's what's being taught still today in homes, in schools, on TV, that type of thing. That it just, and I'm like, boy, do you see me getting this whole, what is this, Brussels sprouts, fresh string beans, snap peas. A lot of people don't know, and it's not their fault. It's just how they grew up. Like I say, their parents was lied to. They were told that eat this. This is fine. This day and age, everybody start graduating towards we're eating more green vegetables. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. We didn't eat all kind of stuff. Now people scared to eat this, that, and I don't know. It's a mess. But he knows that we don't eat that way. The other side, I'm from the country, so we grew stuff. So we ate everything. So I'm like, we eat, what are you saying we don't eat? Where did you get this? Why would you even think this way? So, we continue to do our best to make sure that they understand, hey, this is something, you leave that out there. Those doctors, you go tell whoever told you this is how we eat. Somebody might have showed you something or, whatever. That doesn't pertain to our household. These stereotypes and things, we have to break those barriers and break those stereotypes. And that's what I still see in a lot of these books. If they're not written by us specifically, and I'm not saying that everything written by us is 100% accurate either, but my goodness, there's like this little book with the whole, world history, and it's a couple of pages. Yeah, we want to know, in Africa, what were they eating? How did they eat? How did they grow? How did the climate affect things? How did they have to, are you teaching them how they had to tend to the land? Things like that. How does that relate to you? Do you have to go out in the field doing X, Y, Z? That's what we need to be teaching them, so they can have a greater appreciation for self. Okay? I hear that I don't want to eat this and I don't want to eat that. Well, guess what? Teach them about our ancestors in Africa and what they have to do. And not even just ancestors, people still doing it. Okay? For food. Any kind of food. And it would change their attitude. Our kids have such low self-esteem and low acceptance about themselves. And then to have this in these books, it's got to be quite boring to go through this, read through this stuff. And I'm like, and no, we're not reading that. I like to read stuff for myself. I buy stuff to just read it because I'm just curious. I want to know. But I wouldn't give my kids that. For them to say, how does this even relate to me? My kids want to know how stuff relates to them, and they will call it out. The little ones, the big ones, all of them, they'll call it out. Hey, this don't have nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. So I just like I said, I'm curious to know what you all are using. How are you presenting this to these children, and are you just using what is available? If you have some specific resources, share them. Leave, comments. If you're watching after this, leave the comments. Leave what you're using. This is going to help everybody, not just us. And that's mainly why I'm doing this, because I guarantee we're going to have more. They make sure nothing relates to us. Yeah. There's going to be, again, I'm on both sides of the fence, but there's going to be more of them that will run and buy my stuff than more of us. Because what we're going to get is, who does she think she is? And actually, it's both of us. Actually, this is a family thing. We're all in on this. But my husband is doing some stuff too. I think he's doing most of the, I still have some upper level stuff. He has the ideas. I'm just, I can write the stuff. But, it's going to be more for them because they want to know. Something out there. Oh, wow. Let me check this out. Who does she think she is? Who do they think they are? What do they know? Okay, well, what have you read? I'm talking to you. What have you read? What have you learned? Educate me. We're not unteachable. We just want some ideas. We're not unteachable at all. But as it stands, I don't see anything. I can watch 1,000 homeschool videos, and I don't see anything about Africa. Again, we teach in ancient Greece. We teach in ancient Rome. The thieves. Yeah. Okay. Well, where did they get that stuff? They got that from Africa. Okay. Be real with it. The Europeans, we learn about that stuff too. Because, it's there. It is part of where, it's part of history. But real talk, we need to learn about us. These kids growing up, like I said, there's no self-love. It's a lot of hate. Okay? We have young boys, and I already shared the book. And we went out to go see the movie. And so, you guys, when I said I shared on Instagram, the book needs to be part of everybody's I don't know, not even curriculum, but it needs to be a part of every household in America. It needs to be a part of school, period, public school. Every kid need to read that book. Every teacher need to read it. Okay? We need to bring them into us and let them feel how we feel. Okay? That's real stuff. Because, see, this right here, kids can relate to. So I have some stuff on here, but they can relate to this. Because I know they saw it. I know these kids, some of the kids might not have read it, but I know they saw the movie. And they can relate to it. We watched, in the theater. There was not that many adults. We might have gone on the first day. But, there were adults, but there were a lot of kids in there. So I'm watching the environment and what's going on, the verbiage going on in there. And, trying to think what these kids are thinking. But this is, even though this is modern time, this is history. Okay? It's history for us. It's still history. We have little kids coming up. Now, I'm not suggesting you go show your little kids. That's a family choice. We had 10-year-olds in this house, Malcolm X. But that's a family choice. I'm not telling you to have your kids Malcolm X and Roots and all of that. We do. Okay? Because they're given so much other stuff. And it's a tough world out there, especially this day and age for our young. And it's not even the boys these days. It's the girls too. Okay? Some crazy stuff happening. My kids know about Emmett Till. My little kids. They've seen, images. And again, very careful about images and things like that, but they need to know. They need to know what's going on. Some stuff, you give it to them as they can use it. But if you keep putting it off, and not sharing. These kids don't know. These kids are coming up sheltered, and we can't keep doing that. I showed my kids too. Yeah. It's a lot of modern stuff because we live in modern times now, and the kids are like history. And I said the reason why you need to learn history is because you are a part of history. Okay, you are a part of history, and you need to learn. And I know you think maybe well, they've not said that, but that didn't happen to us. They're curious about what happened. They're very curious beyond Egypt. They're very curious, and some of the lessons that I have done have always been actually all of them are very memorable. And so I'm weaving a lot of literature into the history. It's not just this is not trivia based. It has nothing to do with trivia. We're trying to make sure they understand what's going on, where we came from, what we're being shown, and how to decipher. Let me think. The little kids. I don't know how to say this, but I know everybody can't go to Africa or somewhere, but I never even hear. I hear us, if we are within the vicinity of an African American history museum, we're very proud of it, but I don't see very many other people running over to the African American History Museum. Why? Why? It's still, what they're being taught is pretty much modern day. You're learning Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King, maybe Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, surely not. Crispus Attucks sometimes. Y'all, there was more to it than that. There's so many people that have contributed to our history. It's ridiculous. These little ones have not gone to Atlanta. And so we were talking about this, and I have something cooked up. I'm waiting for a response. But we spent the other day, looking at all the things, and I'm not just, speaking on Martin Luther King, but that kind of pulls them back into where I want them to be. Okay. So I pointed out again, we did a little more, and I saw that they learned a little more. I went back and showed them what I like to do is things that how people, some of our people, Dr. King, of course, is not here, but his family is here. And I like to show the kids his family, his children, as they were, in present time when all this stuff was going on, and also how they look today, because it gives them a better connection. They have to understand that they are grown up, they are adults, they are still alive, because they constantly ask, were these real people? Were these real people? Or are these just stories? So I said, look, here's a picture. This is what they look like. We're watching interviews and, what have you, so that they can see. We're watching the homegoing of Yolanda. We're watching the interview of, I think it was probably Dateline, and I remember that from something, because it's been over the years. But that first Christmas after he was shot, Dr. King, and they did an interview with Mrs. Coretta and the family. I'm showing them that because they need to see that. Okay. Now I'm fortunate. I was born and raised in Memphis, so I've been all down there. And what I want to show them, not more so than, we taking the older kids. So then now they want to go. But more so than the Lorraine, I want to show them Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie has been living down there since way before I was born. And just still, if you guys have been down there, Most people call her the lady that lives on the corner. Okay, she really lives there. Miss Jackie has been there forever. Miss Jackie was a resident of the Lorraine, and she was put out. So I want to show them, look, because they can go back when they're grown. Miss Jackie might still be down there. And it's like, why is she, some people don't get it. Why is she still living down here? Why is she living on the street? Why is she still protesting, boycotting? I don't get it. A lot of people don't even, they probably been there, and I'm not just talking about us, but they probably been there and just noticed, she looks like a transient and passed her by. Don't even know her story. Have you ever stopped to talk to her? I asked my mom years and years ago. I wondered, because we was always down there, and I just wondered, who is this lady? Why is she always here? So, things like that, don't overlook. They want to go to Atlanta, and they want to go and they want to see the memorial, which we have also done, and the home. And very fortunate, friend of mine from high school lives in Atlanta now, and her girls and she take her kids every year. And she actually was on Facebook. She did a Facebook Live, and I was so happy. The kids were so excited. So they were like, for them to make that connection with little kids their age to actually be in this place. Because for me to tell them, okay, yes, we went there, and yes, we saw this, and me to show them something on YouTube or somewhere, okay, they get it. It looks, they're excited. But to say that some little kids their age actually went, they want to know what it was like, how they felt, what did they learn. They're just so curious. So I'm trying to set something up to where the girls can talk to my kids and just kind of talk to them. Just bring it to a whole nother level. She has no idea that their little footage was a whole lesson. And so that's what I'm talking about. They have nothing, her kids are in school, has nothing to do with homeschool, but little things like that. If you're going to little places, share. Share that experience. If not with your kids, just with your kids, share with other people, what you're doing. Because you never know how that little bit of information could help somebody. People may not even know that these places are worth it or they exist. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I don't know if you guys watch, if anybody watches Netflix. There's a show, what is that show called? Man, he left. He went downstairs. I think that guy's Killer Mike or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, he has this. I have to really ask him, my husband, what's his name again? I think that's who it is. He we're sitting there watching different episodes of this show, but one of his episodes, he was downtown Atlanta, and his thing was he had to do everything black owned for 3 days. He had to eat black owned. He had to buy black owned. He had to sleep in black owned motels. He had to buy, whatever, black owned. And that was the hardest thing for this man to do. And so we were talking about how, desegregation was the worst thing for us, even though everybody fought, really hard for it. And people will today, if, I don't know how you guys feel, but honestly, it was the worst thing. Because they came in and took over everything, and we don't have anything, for us. And now we're fighting for a little bit of nothing still that we're most likely not getting. And it took him, I don't know, he was down to like 24 hours before he actually found somewhere to eat. So he had been out there. He had to walk from somewhere. It was far. He was walking a long way. He had to walk all the way to Athens because that's where the neighborhoods were. And he went somewhere and he stopped to eat something. And he said, where did this come from? He couldn't eat it. It was in a black establishment, but it was not produced by any African Americans. So he couldn't eat it. And he finally made it to Athens, and he found where he needed to go, and the food had actually come from a black farm. So he was able to eat, and there was a little grandma in there, and she cooked all the food for him, and it was just like, wow. You know, that's some reality. What's the name of the show? I think it's called Killer Mike. Hold on, let me ask him right quick so I can be accurate. Hey, dude. What was that? What's that guy name again? What is that guy name from that show? What is that guy name from that show? From yesterday. Is it Killer Mike? Killer Mike. That's what I thought. Just laundry out of here. Okay, y'all. Yeah, it's Killer Mike. So it's on Netflix. But yeah. So little things like that, even though we may think that that's little, it's minute, it's not. Because that just goes to show. He was like, man, I had no idea that we have nothing. You know, nothing. We don't own anything. And that's sad. This day and age, we have nothing. And we continue to sit and accept that. And these kids are being raised like that when this should have changed a long time ago. I don't know. We can't save the world, but we can save our families. Yeah, we can save our families. You know, I know not everybody does not own, but I think that, you know, I talk about discipline all the time, and it's not, and I don't want to sound preachy or anything, but everybody needs to own some land. Everybody needs to own something. Y'all gotta, you know, I tell you, we own so much. You know, we're not, you know, somebody says something about building another house and the economy and stuff like that, and what if this happened? We got land, we got food, we grow our own. We're not in trouble. All we got to do is go. Okay? We just have to go. My dad's there. The stuff is there. We have everything we need. It's enough to accommodate our whole family. Because they knew back then we need to buy for ourselves because of how they grew up. Invest in future. Invest in the children. Yes, it's good to be able to buy you know, the materials and the books and the curriculum and things like that, but for real, there's some scary times these days. Okay? Everybody need to be investing in some land somewhere to do something. Because you don't know what's going to happen. I'll check it out. Teach the kids how to farm. You know? They teaching in school some meaningless stuff. You know, this stuff is not gonna, it's not getting these kids anywhere. What's in these books is not really getting these kids anywhere. These kids need to be taught some skills, some life skills, some hardcore life skills. They were taught, you know, what happened back on our continent, you know, how they were able to sustain during droughts and during, you know, famine. That would make a world of difference. Some kids don't even know what famine is. You know, they just eat all day long. I don't know. I have no idea, y'all. Like I said, I just want to know what everybody's doing, how they're teaching this thing. Is it just something you just brush over, or you just point on the map, this is Africa, name a couple of, nations, and keep it moving? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just kind of at a loss, and I just want to know. I just think it's unfair. It just, like I said, it bothers me for us to be up here saying we're homeschooling and nothing is happening. It's an embarrassment, kind of, And anybody that's pointing a finger, I really can't understand that either, because, if somebody's sharing something, they're doing better than you are. What are you doing? You helping somebody out, even if it's one person. You helping somebody out. I share all of these African American books, not just to share. I done got all these books. My goodness, I can go buy every book I want. Okay, that's real talk. I can do that. I'm not going to do that, but I can. I'm sharing it for a reason. I want everybody to see. Everybody knows, okay, she shares these books. This is for everybody. Go read them. There's something to them. These kids can learn from this, okay? They can learn. Have I ever shared anything about Egypt? I don't think I ever shared anything about Egypt, come to think about it. I don't even think we have any. We might have one book about Egypt, 2 books about Egypt. I'll leave that alone. It's enough out there. It's enough. That's not our focus. The kids talk about they want to build the stuff, and that's only because of the gold and the riches and stuff like that. But they know that there was civilization before Egypt. Okay? And so what we're trying to let them see without really seeing it, because we have not set foot yet. And I say yet because, we are planning to go to the homeland. I just, these kids have to be able to say, okay, I know why they dress like this. I know why they eat like this. I know why they sleep like this. Cultural differences. They have to be able to know all that. To be able to carry on in society today. They want to know. I heard on Killer Mike. He said he had in one of the episodes, he had a bunch of the school kids. He went to a school, and the little boy, he asked them something about it was a mixed class. He asked them something about something, and a little boy said, I think it might have had to do with discrimination, or I don't know. It was a little softer though. But anyway, a little boy, he was probably about 8, and he said that somebody told him his skin was ugly because it looked like poop. 8-year-old boy. So this child lives in our times, okay? And I'm like, his skin looked like poop. So where did he learn that from? Y'all, we got to do better. We have to do better. We don't teach that, and I'm not saying everybody does, but these kids, if you're not careful, can get they can be easily brainwashed. Going back to my son, talking about somebody saying, y'all eat this and y'all eat that. Well, you know what? That's what they put up in our neighborhoods, fast food restaurants and whatnot. They put that stuff.
Look at my cake.
In the neighborhoods.
See my cake.
That's hot. You didn't let Justice vlog it?
No, she vlogged it. I'm just saying. I was showing you.
Oh, I see it.
and she show everybody on what's name. Look at my cake. See my cake? I made cake. I cooked dinner too.
She gotta. I thought. How did you get? You gotta show. Talk about. Just say how you got it out of the pan whole. Because some people might. No, in the vlog.
Oh, what you?
She gotta come get the camera.
You gotta do it.
Okay, I'm gonna come do it. Because some people might not know how to get a cake out like that. Anyway, he's so proud of his cake, y'all. I want some cake. Me too. So yeah, that was sad. You know, like I say, this is our kid. You know, I looked at that kid like, oh my gosh. My kids have said things like that to me. And it's like, you know, and we were something about, you know, I had to get, and we probably had this in every I think maybe every household has this conversation, you know, because in our household, we're a rainbow, okay? And at some point, my kids would say, Mom, you're white. We're not white. Look at us. We're different. And I constantly have to stress to them, just because we are different shades does not mean anything. Okay, now they don't know too much about the, I haven't gotten, like the older kids, to break down the DNA and stuff like, that's something they don't need to know just yet. But, the point of it is, we're black. You know, we from the same family. They know I'm their mom, and they know, you know, what they need to know is we can come in different shades. Okay. So, yeah, that is a conversation that's fast coming, because for them to say that, how, you know, they need to understand that, okay, if I'm white, why aren't you white? You know, if I'm your mom. So, things like that. And not to say that anybody has, you know, taught them, oh, your mom's white and you're black. You know, nobody has said anything to them. That's just something that they see. But, yeah, you know, this kid, he went on to talk to that child, and then another child was intervening, and he told the little boy, it was a little Caucasian boy, he said, wait a minute, I'm going to stop you right there, because if I let you continue to interrupt him, that's the first lesson on white privilege, and I'm not going to do that. And it was just, you know, yeah. So he told that little boy he need to chill out and let me finish talking to little homie over here about the poop colored skin. You know, he was like, look, man, you're beautiful. Don't let nobody tell you that. Yeah. And he was just, you know, because it's like we're grown, and to hear somebody, a little child, say that today, it's like, aren't we past that? Aren't we past that? We should be past that. So obviously we're not, and people are still teaching their kids this way. That's why I say we have to get past what's in these type of things, okay? We can't do that. We got to get past that. Take my paper out of here because it's all over the place. Okay. I want you guys to take a look. I'm going to share it. Okay? Somebody say, where you get that? $500 on Amazon. I want to see somebody else go get it. I'm not going to tell you if I paid the $500 for it. But I just told you that I don't care. What that does, if that's the only thing I use, what that does for my kids, oh my gosh. It's gold. I like my brown skin because it's a grandmother that wrote that. I shared that. I did some. If you guys follow on Instagram, I shared some inside of it. And I think I threw that up in a vlog one time on accident because I was sharing library books. But not one, but two. I want y'all to go find it. I want somebody to tell me they bought it. Celebrating the heritage of African American children. Read it. Not just read it to your kids. Read it. And just tell me what it does. Something like that versus what I just showed you. If they put stuff like that into this other stuff, it would change. It's a game changer. But see, they don't want to. They don't want to. You know, we have to go and publish our own things, which is fine. Which is fine. But we still have the issue with, okay, why is nobody buying our product? We're supporting them, but they're not supporting us. And I know I can't, you know, what we're doing here, we can't bridge the divide, but we're going to try. We're going to try. You know, even if only one person buy it, you know, that's not the aim. Like I say, the money, it's not even about the money, y'all. It's not about the money. That's not why we write. We got money. You know, if I'm looking at, you know, a little bit of money, you know, I say a little bit, but a couple $100 for some resource just to put into it, it's not about the money. It have nothing to do with that. We're not trying to get rich off this. We're trying to educate kids. We're trying to educate parents. We're trying to educate our people. So if anybody else, like I said, anybody has any resources, you know, I'm not going to, again, I'm not going too far into what we're doing because I can't, you know, this is top secret. But that book looks beautiful. Oh, it is. It is. It is. Y'all, I'm going to show you. I did put this on Instagram the other day. But I shared some of this inside. Show you what I put on Instagram. Because I don't know that I'm going to. I know I didn't vlog it. I know I didn't. I'm going to show you. The whole book. Just beautiful. The art in it. Beautiful. And it has this little message in here for these kids. And it begins with precious children. He saw all people as brothers and sisters without regard to skin color. This is Malcolm X here. But yeah, this is precious children. Yeah, if you guys have Instagram, you can hop over and see what the lesson was on that. What one of the kids wrote behind that. Yeah. Again, we can't, you know, these kids have to, it's sad that we have to teach them, again, you know, I tell my kids why we don't like them going outside the front door alone. No, you can't just go in the front yard. Why you might get snatched up as a little brown child. Why you might get snatched up. Why you are so valuable. You know, why our children are coming up missing. So many of us. Even, I'm not even saying the young boys, but girls. So many young ladies have been coming up missing. Now we gotta teach these kids better. We have to teach them better. What's happening to them? And this slavery, I just can't wrap my head. You know, the Bible is full of slavery, full of it. Corruption, all kind of stuff. But yet and still, that's pushed. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, there's history before. There's history before. A lot of history before. I'm trying to think. I'm just, like I said, I'm waiting for some responses. I don't know how this is going to go over. We don't, my husband said what he had to say. It's a lot. We really have been talking about this, and we just, we try to meet people where they are. And it's like, you know what, we don't have to explain things. We're just, doing what we're doing. And either you want to know something, you want to be educated, or you don't. I'm not asking for, specifically in what, the project, not asking for suggestions or anything like that. I never hear nobody ask me the story of the world. You want to put your 2 cents in? I don't remember her asking me. It's either you buy it or you don't. You like it or you don't. I'm not asking anybody what they think. I already saw, this, that, and the third about it. I said, let me see this. Let me see what the controversy is. I want to know. I know stuff is not accurate, but when it comes to a breakdown of other people other than African Americans or Africans, and it's, bad stuff about other races, it's like, what? And we live in this millennium? That's just straight up racist. So I'm not trying to, we're not trying to, pro-black curriculum, none of that. We're trying to educate everybody. We just want to get these kids straight because we don't want nobody homeschooled, especially. And they thinking, their skin look like poop. That brings tears to my eyes. We can't be pro-black. These kids have to go out into the world, y'all. We can't just teach them pro-black, okay? They need to go out. They need to know that, yes, people are going to look at them differently, but they also need to know that who paved the way before them, okay? They're paving the way for others that are going to come behind them. We don't want to just send them out and say, well, we were just taught that we're beautiful because X, Y, Z. They need to be products and they need to produce. Okay, we need to get these kids out, turn the society around. We're not, if you haven't figured out, you're not getting your 40 acres and a mule. You got to go get it for yourself. So a lot of us, it's too late. You got to get it for the kids. Teach the kids so they can get their 40 acres. Okay? Like I said, if not, these kids are still going to end up brainwashed because of what we're following. We can't follow them. Look where they led us. All right, y'all. On that note, say good evening. Be blessed. Share. Comment. Guys, share this. I know this is not really the end. Like I said, we do have other, just in family. This whole topic is probably going to come up in family in the BFF. It's going to be one of those topics sooner or later. And again, probably not as detailed or I don't know what anybody expects, but it's a preference. It's a personal preference, and we're not trying to. The intent is not to be preachy or anything. I'm just, just basic observations, you know. So, but yeah, just conversations that we have sometimes, and it's hard to capture. I mean, I want it live because I want the interaction, but sometimes it's like we just want to turn on the camera. I don't know who did what, but they need to know their worth. Yeah, they need to know their worth. Exactly. And what to do with it. Yep, they need to know their worth and what to do with it. Yeah, but you guys, Killer Mike, like I said, he was talking to them little kids that one episode. It was so much more in that episode. I could just talk about that. Kids want to be this and they want to be that, and he was like, you know what? No, that's just it's not gonna happen. And he was right, man. These kids, yeah. If we keep going the way we're going, there's not gonna be much hope because we continue to be the underdogs. It's very hard, very, very hard. We have to search. It's just like my husband is very particular about a lot of things. I'm particular about a lot of things, but one of the big ones, and I'm gonna get off, hair products. Y'all know we stay haired, okay? But why you got to go buy from the Asian people? And it's like it's hard to find, us. It's hard to find just us. Even if we go in the store, it might be us selling the stuff, but it's them behind it, Miss Sophia. Talk about Miss Sophia all the time. Miss Sophia down the street owns her stuff. Okay? She buys from her own. Yeah. So we go over there. But I know everybody's not that fortunate, but it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to go to the, and yeah, I heard some stuff and, oh man, somewhere. They trying to sue somebody. And I want to say it was Iowa. They were trying to sue somebody for braiding hair in the shop.
You still doing it?
I'm getting ready to get off. What you got? I'm going to eat all that? Oh, okay. No, I was talking about that little thing real quick.
Show me plate.
Show my plate.
Yeah.
I'll block it. You put the hot stuff on there? Let's see. Get it in there. Okay, there's my plate.
Wings and fries. Let me catch up.
Don't spill my
wine. Okay.
Don't spill my wine.
They can ask me for cake. I said you can't get everything.
You can take the ketchup.
No, they're asking for cake.
No, I said you could take the ketchup. What is this ranch?
You want some ranch?
What do I look like? Yeah. No, I was telling about that thing you was looking at that time about that. What's that story in Iowa? The girl at the beauty shop. Iowa. Wasn't it in Iowa?
Yeah. Well, she got in trouble for braiding people hair.
She got arrested.
Yeah, they fined her.
Yeah, they fined her for braiding hair. So yeah, it was a shop, and of course, out there's not that many of us, and there's obviously not any black-owned shops. But the girl knew how to braid, and they were trying to convict the girl for braiding hair in the shop. And it's like, really? This is 2000 and what? So basically, she would have to just, do like I do the stuff from home. Have the clients come to her from home, but because what they were saying was she was offering a service that nobody else could do. And I'm like, okay, she's licensed though. But because they didn't teach her specifically how to braid hair, she couldn't practice that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Y'all, we have to do better. We have to do better. So that girl has a talent. And Lord knows that's a talent. And she was, just trying to make some money. Of course, she was doing what she was taught in beauty school. But, yeah, obviously there was the only braider in that city. So, I just, in situations like that. That's why we need our own stuff. We need our own stuff, y'all. So if you have places in your community, in your city, go support your own people. Teach these kids this is why you're going there. Show them that we own stuff, not that it's just this. Show them that restaurants, that's a whole different story, but take them to our restaurants. Show them, show them that we own stuff. Because I know these kids don't see that. And even if we try to say, oh, they know better, we told them, it makes it all the more vivid. And it really brings into understanding if they actually see it. Farmers markets, farms. When you're going on vacations and things like that, specifically plan, do some research and find black owned. Okay? I've seen other people specifically seek out black owned, and they're not even black. And I'm like, yes, they're educating, because they want to know. I'm share somebody soon. I'm gonna come back and share. I love this family. I love them with all my heart. I love them. I'm gonna share with you guys later. They're doing some awesome things, and I know not many people of you guys know about them. I don't know. Here and there, I have in my Instagram chats, she'll pop up, but yeah. But you guys, again, this is not we're not coming from a racial divide. My goodness, you just saw the child in my house the other day. Okay, that child is in our house like all the time. Okay, yeah. But let me get off of here and have my dinner so these kids can get this cake and this y'all. We have Bluebell ice cream. They got Mardi Gras flavor ice cream, so they're waiting for the ice cream. Let me eat this. I don't think I ate today. Did I eat today? I ate breakfast a way long time ago. So share, and I will talk to you all in the comments.